years, yung mga balikatan exercises had ramped up tremendously, Mr. President. And that's clear evidence that the Mutual Defense Treaty is doing its responsibility, Mr. President.
Yes, but they fell short in being able to satisfy our requirement that our country is now in a clear position of being able to repel armed attack. Ayoko nang bumalik doon. Yung kasi lang ang punto ron Mr. President.
Well, Mr. President, last comment, actually under the leadership of Secretary Teodoro, doon po talaga nag-umpisa itong ramping up ng mga alliances with our like-minded partners, Mr. President. And with that, doon din nag-umpisa yung investments rin ho natin sa modernization. Kaya this year, Mr. President, pinakamalaking modernization fund ang ilalagay po ng Senado para po makahabol ho tayo sa mga pangangailangan ho natin.
Yun po yung gusto ko sabihin, Mr. President. Nakabawi-bawi tayo ng konti dahil nandyan ang aking kaibigan, Secretary Gatchalian. Kung wala pa siya dyan, paano na? Kasi hindi natin masasabi kung mananatili siya dyan. Pwede siyang
yung palang punto niyo, Mr. President. Nakuha ko na ho.
Kaya nga Would you say that militarization rather than diplomacy is the main mode of dispute settlement of China?
No, Mr. President, absolutely not, Mr. President.
Okay. So, ang main tool po natin is diplomacy insofar as the Philippines is concerned.
Yes, Mr. President. But it's at the same time, Mr. President, it's to our best and core interest to continuously modernizing our capability, Mr. President.
Yung po mga diplomatic efforts natin, ano-ano po yun? Sana hindi lang po mga diplomatic protest tsaka yung tinatawag nilang megapone diplomacy. Are there actual negotiations and are there budgets devoted for these actual negotiations para yung diplomacy makita natin po talagang nag-ooperate?
Mr. President, under the budgets of the Department of Foreign Affairs, Mr. President, merong mga amounts there to continuously engage our partners as well as other countries in diplomacy, Mr. President.
Mr. President, is it correct to say that the Department of National Defense is asking the people for billions of pesos to defend the West Philippine Sea, or WPS?
Well, Mr. President, it's not only limited to the West Philippine Sea, Mr. President. It's the
in relation only to the West Philippine Sea.
Yes, Mr. President.
Okay. Pwede, paano natin isang map? Can I ask the staff to please show the first map? Mr. President, hindi ba lalaki ng konti? Palagin mo. Mr. President, I'm trying to show the official map of the South China Sea as published by the International Hydrographic Organization in S-23 or Limits of Oceans and Seas. We're not supposed to defend the entire South China Sea, Mr. President.
No, Mr. President. Only our exclusive, until our
Only the portion of the West Philippine Sea.
Yes, Mr. President, until the exclusive economic zone, and also in the other side, Mr. President.
Hindi, doon muna tayo sa
seaboard, Mr. President.
Sa West Philippine Sea muna tayo. Isa-isa lang, boss, mahirap ang kalabanan. Can you tell me, Mr. President, exactly which portion is the West Philippine Sea? Can you show us a map indicating the features and the limits of that area where we will be spending some of the budgets of the DND for consideration?
Mr. President, it's 200 nautical miles from our baseline, Mr. President. Those are the areas that the DND intends to bolster, Mr. President.
If you are saying 200 nautical miles from the archipelagic baseline, you're referring to the exclusive economic zone.
Correct, Mr. President.
The reason I'm raising this question, Mr. President, is that the lack of precise identification of the area where the people's money is supposed to be spent, parang ang mangyayari po parang yung flood control ngayon. Dahil po sa discrepancy in coordinates, ang damit billions po, billion po kasi ang natapon din na pera. If the DND says that the WPS is the EEC, meron pong mas magandang definition yun. Sa Administrative Order Number 29 ng Republic Act 12064 or the Maritime Zones Law, sinasabi po ron the WPS is Philippines maritime areas on the western side of the archipelago, including the Luzon Sea, as well as the waters around, within and adjacent to the Calayan Island Group and Bajo de Masinloc, also known as Scarborough Shoal. Tama po yun, ano, Sir President?
Yes, correct, Mr. President.
Would you agree that under Administrative Number 29, the term Calayan Island Group refers to the area enclosed by boundaries identified under Section 1 of Presidential Decree Number 1596?
Tama po, Mr.
Yes.
President. Tama po kayo.
And you will also agree that under paragraph 574 of Arbitral Award in the South China Sea Arbitration, the tribunal declared that the Philippines cannot apply boundaries to enclose the Spratly Islands or a portion thereof. Yes.
Yes, we agree, we agree with the arbitral award, Mr. President.
Ito po yung section po ng 1596, Mr. President, and paragraph 574 ng Arbitral Award. Magkalaban po talaga Sabi po ng Arbitral Award, Mr. President, and I quote, "In any event, however, even the Philippines could not declare archipelagic baselines surrounding the Spratly Islands. Article 47 of the Convention limits the use of archipelagic baselines to circumstances where within such baseline are included the main islands and an area in which the ratio of the area of the water to the area of the land, including atolls, is between 1:1 and 9:1. Question, is it obvious now that PD 1596 and paragraph 574 of the Arbitral Award, Mr. President, are incompatible? And therefore, you will agree that definition of the WPS in Administrative Order 29 had to be changed to make it compatible with the Arbitral Award, Mr. President.
Well, Mr. President, the Secretary replied that no, it's not incompatible because portions of the EEZ is also included in that, Mr. President.
We will go to that, Mr. President, but if you will care to consider yung Section 1 po ng Presidential Decree 1596 and the Arbitral Award, they're inconsistent and incompatible. Kasi po dito sa Article 2, Paragraph B ng Republic Act 12064, nire-define niya yung WPS. Ang definition na po rito ngayon ng naging batas na ito ay the maritime zones of the Philippines on the western side of the Philippines, on the Philippine archipelago, including the Luzon Sea and the territorial seas of Bajo de Masinloc and the maritime features of the Calayan Island Group. Ngayon po, Mr. President, yung limits po ng West Philippine Sea ang sabi mo natin kanina is the 200 nautical limit of the EEZ. Are you saying that Kalayaan and other features are not part of the WPS, Mr. President?
Mr. President, the prevailing law is 95 RA 9522. That is the one that they are following, Mr. President.
RA
9522. Republic Act 9522. Enacted in 2009, Mr. President.
Paano po yung Republic Act number 12064? 2012 po ito. This is the more recent law.
Yeah. Yeah, Mr. President, maritime zones and the baselines are different matters, Mr. President.
Alam ko po yun, Mr. President. Pero kung pag-uusapan po natin na yung limit po ng West Philippine Sea ay yung ating exclusive economic zone, which is 200 nautical miles from our baseline, malinaw po na ang Kalayaan Island Group ay hindi po kasali sapagkat it is beyond the West Philippine Sea. Pwede po natin ipakita yung pangalawang mapa.
Well, Mr. President, what we are following insofar as the Kalayaan Group of Islands is RA 9522, which defines the baseline, Mr. President, of the country.
Yun nga po, Mr. President, sa baseline natin, kahit sa 9522, wala po doon yung Kalayaan Island Group.
Mr. President, nandun po yung KIG, Mr. President, Kalayaan Island Group.
Ipakita natin yung yung isa pa pong, ayan po, kayo na pong humanap kung nasaan yung KIG. Wala po eh.
Ito po, Mr. Section 2, Section 2A, the Kalayaan Island Group as constituted under Presidential Decree 1596. And letter B, Bajo de Bansinloc, also known as Scarborough Shoal, Mr. President. Nandito po siya sa 952.
Kasi po, Mr. President, sa Republic Act 12064 or the Maritime Zones Law, ito po yung ginagamit ninyo ngayon eh. Inalis po niya yung boundaries ng 1596 na in-enclose ang KIG. Tingnan po ninyo. Section 5 in relation to Section 18, yung term Kalayaan Island Group now refers only to certain high tide elevations and the respective territorial sea. Inalis po talaga eh.
Yeah. Well, Mr. President, when it comes to the Kalayaan Island Group, Mr. President, it's RA 9522.
Hindi po, ang ating pong recent batas na po, yung RA 12064, it was enacted last year, November 7, 2024. So hindi po pwedeng manaig po yung sinasabi nyo dahil ito na po yung more recent na batas na ginawa po natin. So as it stands now, Mr. President, yung ating West Philippine Sea includes the maritime features of the KIG. Palagay natin. And that some of these features are separated by high seas. Kung mangyayari po yun, Mr. President, ang mangyayari talaga, ang WPS is a discontinuous and disjointed body of water.
But, Mr. President, also in Section 3 defines the baselines, Mr. President. And it referred back to RA 9522, Mr. President. So, dinefine dito sa batas na ito, yung baseline ng ating bansa at pinifer niya bumalik ho tayo sa 9522. So, hindi ho siya inconsistent, Mr. President. the maritime zones only define the